Welcome, Weekend Warriors, to the Week 9 predictions. Guys, this is going to be a quick one. Happy Halloween. I got home a little late, put on the most ridiculous thing I own, which is a Phoenix Coyotes jersey, I guess. And yeah, it's my name on the back, so that's kind of cool. And this hat that I stole from Rich Dot. So it's the most ridiculous thing I own in my closet. And guys, want to jump into it because I got some candy to give out. And hope you guys are having a good Halloween. But we'll jump into it. I'm going to make these quick predictions today. Next week, I promise I'll be back and better than ever. We're going to get a special guest back on. But got to keep my predictions rolling for the season through 8 weeks. The Weekend Warriors are now 27-13. Last week we were 3-2. Very respectable record for the commish through 8 weeks. This week we have some good matchups. I'm going to jump into it with the first one being Otley versus Jake. Otley lost to me last week. 5 losses in a row for Ott. Another team in the league has 5 losses. Brett, we'll get to him later. 2 5-in-a-row streaks this week. Otley has Jacoby Brissett in his lineup at quarterback right now. And he's got Brady at Baltimore. That's a tough matchup. So, I like Jake. The site likes Jake. He's supposed to win by 30. He's got good running backs. He's got good enough receivers. I think he gets it done here against Otley. And he's streaking in the wrong direction. So I'm going to go with the momentum. And Otley loses his 6th in a row. Van Byberry, tough break after a good start. Moving to Dean versus Terry. Dean, after winning 3 in a row, lost last week. Terry, all of a sudden, is on a 3-win streak and he's in 3rd place. This week, Terry has some bye-week issues. Right now, he's got Cup on bye and Zerline. He'll make some moves to clean up his roster. Thursday night, he's relying on Kenyon Drake and Christian Kirk. Tough matchups against San Fran. Dean, without David Johnson and when that injured, Mixon on bye. His 2 running backs are Jordan Howard and Adrian Peterson. Tough to rely on those guys every week. I'm still going to go with Dean until I see Terry clean up his roster. And I'm not sure who he's going to put in for those guys. Deshaun Jackson is questionable. Fuller is out. He might need to make some pickups. I don't know. But he definitely has the advantage of running back with Chubb and Elliott. I'm going to go out on a limb and take Dean to win this week against Terry. Moving over to Kevin versus Zach. Zach, another 5-3 team, 1 of 4, who finds himself in 4th place. Kevin, 3-5, lost 2 in a row after winning 3 in a row. I still think Kev has a chance to make a splash. He needs Melvin Gordon to really kind of pick it up. He's got a new offensive coordinator. Maybe he can. But this week, Deshaun Watson in London. Last week threw a touchdown with one eye open. And he was able to acquire Michelle from Jake, who I think is a good running back 2 probably. And it's if James Conner doesn't play, Zach's going to have some trouble. But I'm still going to take Zach. I think he just has the more consistent team. Kevin has Tyreek Hill. When Mahomes get back, it'll be a little better. But right now, I think, especially with Michael Thomas on bye, I'll go with Zach. Moving on, the matchup of the week, we have a rivalry here. Chris T, the bearded parrot, a win last week to save his season, to get out of the basement. And Pearson, a big win by 1 point over Jake. Juju Smith-Schuster almost did it for him. I almost called that. I almost pulled a Nostradamus saying that Juju was going to win it for Jake. Monday night, he almost did. Miami gave them a scare. Pearson, he's very consistent. He's got New England's D. This might be their toughest matchup of the year. Not just the defense, but New England in general. At Baltimore, of course, you got to roll with them. They've been so good. Pearson right now in his lineup with Devontae Freeman, Todd Gurley, and Drew Brees on bye. He's turning to Josh Allen, who has a good matchup against Washington. But then his running back 2 is Royce Freeman. And his flex right now is Mike Williams from the Chargers. If there's a chance for Chris to strike, it's right now. He needs to beat Pearson. He has Tevin Coleman in his lineup and Matt Breida in his lineup right now, the dual threat at San Francisco running back. The San Francisco run game is phenomenal, and Chris still probably is going to be turning to Winston with Mahomes looking doubtful. I'm going with Chris. I think he gets enough. He also has the kicker on Thursday night. I think your magic number, Chris, is probably 40. If you get 40 between Breida, Coleman, and your kicker, I think you're right on track. I think if you get 30, you're in it. If you get less than that, you're in trouble. Your magic number's really 40 to feel comfortable, between 30 and 40 to have a good shot. So I'm going to go optimistic bearded parrot. He's optimistic. I'm optimistic about his team. I think he can dig himself out of the hole that he's in, get Mahomes back, and him and Barkley could make ways for him going to try to make a playoff run here. And then look, my matchup versus Brett would be the matchup of the week. It's two pretty good teams. Brett's team's better than his record at 2-6, but hey, I'm in first, he's in last. That's not a matchup of the week. I will say the site projects him to win this week, which is interesting. Le'Veon Bell, finally a good matchup against Miami. Beckham, a bounce-back game after playing New England the week before. Russell Wilson at home against Tampa Bay. Some really, 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 really good matchups for Brett. Amari Cooper at the Giants Monday night. For me, going to keep rolling with Dalvin, going to keep rolling with Chris Carson. I'm going to hope that David Montgomery can continue. He's not going to have the same game he had last week against the Eagles, but maybe he'll get like 60 and a touchdown. He's my flex guy. The big one for me is Davante Adams should be back this week. I think he'll be back. He'll score a touchdown. I think Kenny Galladay is going to have a nice day. And I'm also relying on Kirk Cousins with Jared Goff on bye. Hey, the second you start depending on Cousins, sometimes he lets you down. I think this year might be different. We'll see if he can do it in Arrowhead. I'm hoping the Vikings score about 50 points as I have Cousins and Cook. Hopefully this isn't the week that Madison runs 2 in. So, guys, that's my predictions. Brett, I think I'm going to beat you. Wouldn't be surprised if you beat me, even though you're 2-6. But you went from first last year to worst right now. I don't know if you'll stay in the basement with this team, especially with Le'Veon Bell's schedule starting to lighten up. You might get A.J. Green back. So there are some hopes for you. You probably won't make the playoffs, but you can at least try. Guys, I hope you enjoy your Halloween. You can tell us a little bit of a rushed episode. I'll be back with more content next week. Be careful trick-or-treating. Don't eat any candy with holes in it. I'm talking to you, Lot. Banned by Barry. The commish out.